to pause, which I absolutely love. Boundaries, balance, and permission to pause. So on that note, I'm going to turn it over to Kat Olsenelli, and she's going to have about 20 minutes. So you want me to give you a 10 and a 5, or just a 5, or you tell me?
Yeah, 5 is fine.
5 is fine.
I got this. We're good.
All right.
She told me to give you guys a 30-second pitch. So I know I introduced myself earlier. I do work with Mara Whitener as I'm doing business strategy work, but I'm also running a company called The Lotus Effect. So I do speaking and MC work. I actually speak on domestic violence. So that is something that is near and dear to my heart. I'm looking to connect with nonprofits and colleges to bring awareness and to also have open-ended conversations with those that are going into that field. So, which is one of the reasons why I'm super excited to talk about boundaries, balance, and pause, because I feel like this is something that we all need regardless of anything that we've been through in our lives. So thank you guys so much. Boundaries, balance, and pause. These 3 words I know that we all know, but these 3 words also hold importance in both business and personal life. And yet these 3 words might not necessarily be what we're prioritizing that's going to truly serve us. These words are actually powerful tools that help you can feel more centered, aligned, and intentional, allowing you to make progress in both business and your life. And here's the twist. These words can also help you conserve your most precious resources, which is time, energy, and money. So let me ask you all this. How many of you are feeling like you're doing a great job at setting boundaries, maintaining balance, and giving yourself permission to pause? No? Okay, that's okay. And not to call anybody out, I myself actually forget about these 3 words every once in a while, but what I wanted to do is I just wanted you to kind of think about that for a moment, because while many of us are aware of these concepts, we might not be utilizing them in the most productive and powerful ways that are supporting both our growth and our focus. So let's start with boundaries. We've all heard people say, you need boundaries, or they need boundaries, but what does that actually mean? By definition, a boundary is a line that marks the limits of an area. When we're talking both business and personal, boundaries are the limits and rules that we set for ourselves. Let me repeat that. Boundaries are the limits and rules that we set for ourselves, not others, ourselves. They define how we engage with others, how we allocate our time, and how we manage our energy. Now, here's the thing about boundaries. They don't always have to be rigid. As a mom of 2 boys, I completely understand the depths of needing to have grace or focus on putting out the fire, or fires. I like to think of them as intentional yet flexible, like a rubber band. For example, in business, there are certain boundaries that we do want to hold firm, such as working only with clients who align with our values and our goals, deciding when we're going to be available for those clients, and then deciding when we have to or need to work. These boundaries, while should remain firm, are also going to require some flex on our part. And that's okay when it's truly worth it. But then you have these other boundaries that I like to call non-negotiables. So what are non-negotiables? Think about the bare minimum tasks that you must complete on a daily to move your business forward, such as I must connect with 5 people a week to move my business forward, or I must promote online 3 days a week. These are tasks that when done and done consistently, move the business forward, either because it's connecting us with new clients, it's getting us leads, or it's opening opportunities. But you have to define what those non-negotiables are, because every person varies depending on how they are running their business. So I challenge you to make a list of no more than 5 daily non-negotiables. For example, one of my non-negotiables is I must network with 5 people every single week. To honor this, I set a boundary. I primarily network on Tuesdays. This helps keep my week structured and scheduled, and it also helps prevent distractions. However, if someone I'm really excited to meet with cannot meet on a Tuesday, then I allow myself that flexibility to be able to adjust. This balance between structure and flexibility is where the magic happens. Which brings us to balance. Balance is not about perfection. It's about creating harmony between business and your personal life. It's easy to get caught up in busy work, responding to emails, checking social media, or completing tasks that just aren't moving the needle forward. The key to balance is prioritization. Let's do this. I have a piece of paper on your table and a pen. I'd like you to take that real quick, and I want you to decide what list you're gonna write out. So you're gonna either write one for your business or one for your personal. You're gonna write out the tasks that you would do on a daily basis. I'm gonna give you about 2 minutes to list out what some of those tasks would be. So choose business or personal. You got 2 minutes on the clock.
What kind of tasks? Elaborate.
Tasks like anything you need to do. So I need to check emails, I need to talk to people, I need to make sure that this is sent out. Just things that you would need to do.
Personal, like I need to do
And
laundry.
I need to do like, yeah,
Okay.
but either for your business or for your personal. Make sure you're
Okay.
focusing on just one, because overlapping them is how we really confuse ourselves. And then we start blending both business and personal to the point where it's really hard to structure them apart.
I'm already blended. I'm as blended as Mary Kay.
Yeah. Believe me, my boys keep me very blended. All right, got about 1 minute left. All right, go ahead and finish writing up your last task. All right, I have a question for you guys too. How many of you, when you started writing down your tasks, you looked at the list and it felt a lot shorter than what was in your brain? Anybody? Anybody? Did anybody write their list out and felt like there's still 10,000 things that I still need to put on it? No? Yes, the yeses as well. Okay. I actually asked that for myself because I am like that. I get so overwhelmed and I'm like, oh my gosh, I have 10,000 things to do. And then I make a list and I'm like, it's 30 items. So I want you to understand that sometimes we have more than what we feel like needs to be done and vice versa. And so sometimes being able to write that out can help us get it out of the brain. Now what I want you to do is I want you to take this list and I want you to put a star next to the top 5 tasks that need to be completed that would move your business forward or would help you in your personal life. Try not to think about it too much. I know we can really get into thinking, but look at it and just star those top 5. Give you about 30 seconds to be able to do so.
I wrote 6 things down.
Oh, you're doing good then.
Well, but like eat dinner with the family and game night once a week.
All right, we got our top 5. Early strive for the top 5. All right, so these are your priorities tasks. These are your non-negotiables. The ones that truly make an impact. Everything else on your list can either wait or it can be delegated. Here's what I suggest. Each day for 1 week, I suggest that you write all the tasks down that you need to complete for that day. Make you 2 separate lists. You're going to divide them, one for business and one for personal. And then I want you to identify the top 5 tasks on each one of those lists that are most critical toward moving you toward your goals. By focusing on these tasks and reassessing which one of these tasks truly are a priority, what you are doing is you are actually creating space in your life. For example, if one of your business priorities is connecting with potential clients and you know that LinkedIn DMs is the best way to do it, then block out that time specifically for that. Don't let less impactful tasks like checking email or scrolling through social media take precedent. Remember, balance creates harmony, which creates space. Which also means at times you're gonna have to ask for help. This is where delegating tasks come in. Whether it's in your business or in your home life, know that asking for help or delegation is not a sign of weakness. It is actually a strategy for you to use towards your success. Now, I'd like to talk about the third word, pause. This might be the most challenging one for many of us, especially entrepreneurs. We're so used to being in constant motion that the idea of stopping feels completely unproductive. But pausing is not about stopping. It's about reassessing and realigning. Think of it this way. When you pause, you create space to evaluate what's working and what's not. You're allowing yourself the opportunity to adjust your approach and to also recharge your energy. For instance, if you've been trying a new business tactic for months with no results, a pause allows you to take a step back, analyze that situation, and then decide if it's time to continue with it or to pivot. Same thing in your personal life. Pausing might mean setting time for self-care or simply taking a moment to breathe before you jump into your next project or deal with children. This was a really hard lesson for me. I have always felt like I was supposed to be doing or moving, and I've also always had the mindset of, I don't quit, I always finish it. Anybody else ever feel like that? Yeah, this one derailed me so many times. I actually had a call with a lady, she was a guest on my podcast, and she was telling me how she was reading all these books all at the same time, and I was so intrigued. And I asked her, I was like, how do you keep up with them? And what she told me was that she reads a few pages in one, and then she reads a few pages in another, and takes in that knowledge or that lesson, and then reads a little bit more of it, or pauses, and reads something else, and comes back to it when she feels called to. And she said she only finishes what she feels called to complete. That was a mind-blowing moment for me. I had to sit stunned for a second, but it also helped me realize that not everything that I do has to be finished all the way through in the way I originally thought it needed to be done. Sometimes it's actually best to pause, to reassess, and then decide if that is still a priority or if it makes more sense to pivot. So how can you incorporate boundaries, balance, and pause in your life starting today, which is going to give you back time, energy, and money? Boundaries. We want to remember that we are setting rules and limits for ourselves. We want to look at what is important to us and then set those rules or limits, but also build in some flexibility as needed. Because life happens. Sometimes we also have to be okay with saying no, or just taking a pass on something that we know that does not align with the goals that we are pursuing. This is also going to save you time by eliminating distractions, and it's going to help you focus on what truly matters, which conserves your energy, and it's also helping you avoid those items that don't align with your goals. Balance. Make a list of the tasks for both business and personal, and start laying out those non-negotiables. And from that, then decide what tasks that can wait or what can be delegated. For me, structuring out my daily schedule helps me stay on task, but it also creates a sense of harmony in my life. Mornings are hyper-focused because that's when I tend to have the most energy, and my afternoons are set for my lower tasks. This ensures that you have time and energy which is distributed in a way that supports both your business and your personal life. And by prioritizing, you're actually freeing up time and energy to invest in what matters most. Pause. Add into your calendar time for breaks and self-care. And remember to give yourself grace and breathing space when it's needed. I have a 1-hour lunch break at the same time every single day in my daily work week. Sometimes I use that lunch break just to eat, sometimes I use it to go get some sun, and sometimes I use it just to be. But that 1 hour is for me. And this allows to help recharge and realign, ensuring that your efforts are both intentional and also focused. So remember in this journey, You have the power to lead with intention. You have the power to conserve your precious resources and achieve meaningful progress. And I encourage you to ask yourself, where can I set better boundaries? How can I create more balance? And when will I be giving myself permission to pause? Because your time, your energy, yourself, and your money are going to thank you for it. And I'd like to tell you guys, thank you so much for speaking with me. And because you guys have been so gracious to listen to me today, I have some information. So there's cards on your tables that you see. The bottom two are actually some freebies that we have for you guys. So this bottom code right here is actually for our newest goal setting planner that we have. It's a vision to results planner, brand new, but not only is it going to help you get the thoughts onto paper, but we create actionable steps, step by step, to move forward in your business. So if you go to this, you're going to want to use the coupon code TAKE ACTION, one word, and that's going to get you that planner for free. If you're looking for additional information, if you're wanting to have some strategic setting, if you're wanting to talk about your mindset, I also have on the middle one, your vision to action strategy call. This is a free 45-minute call with me one-to-one to focus on 1 to 2 specific areas in your business where you're going to walk away with actionable steps and a strategy to move forward. That last one at the top, that's actually just for me. If you guys would be ever so kind, it's just a feedback form for me to generate and understand what I've done, what you guys loved, and what I can better improve. And if you're looking to connect with me on different levels, or if you'd like to just have a connection call, you can fill your information out on the back of the card and tell me why you'd like to meet, and I'd love to chat with every single one of you guys. So thank you so much for your time, and Abigail, thank you so much for your
And you can hang around for